Guys, this is a step-by-step guide on how to create your pivot charts and slicers that you'll use to filter your data very fast. Now, the very first step is to create your pivot tables. I already have my pivot tables here. You can see the first pivot table and the second pivot table. Now, the first thing I want to do is to create a pivot chart. Now, I want to start with the first pivot table, and the kind of pivot chart I want to create is a pie chart. I just want to see what percentage does the different types of customers in this case are contributing to the whole total. Like we have a consumer, corporate, home office, and small business. For instance, I want to understand what percentage does consumer contribute, and I want it to be visualized in a pie chart. Now, the very first step is to do number formatting because I can see it has not yet been formatted. Number formatting, then I'm going to convert that into currency, 2 decimal points. Then there I have it. I'm going to do the same to the next pivot table, number formatting, currency, then just 2 decimal points. Now I have it. It is very okay. Now, first I want to click into the pivot table number one. After clicking into pivot table number one, I'm going to come to where we have the pivot table analyze tools. I'm going to click on that. When I click on that, you can see these are the tools that are within the pivot table analyze. I have pivot charts and recommended pivot tables. Now I want to create a pivot chart. Click on pivot chart, and you can see there is a wide range of pivot charts that are being recommended for this particular pivot table. What I've said that I want is to create a pivot chart which is pie chart. I'm going to click on pie chart, and then this is a preview. You are going to be given a preview of whatever you want to create before you actually create it. Now, because it is what I want to create, I'm going to click OK. You can see it has already been created. Now, the next thing I'm doing, I just want to resize it. You can see it has occupied almost the whole page. So the first step is to resize it. But make sure that all your data is visible. Just want to resize it, and this is how I resize it. Now, that looks much better. The second thing I want to do is to do formatting of this particular pivot chart. It is not looking very good. It is not yet well resized. I want to see everything. Yes, it is now okay. Now the next thing I want to do, I want to give my pivot chart, this is pie chart, I want to give it a title, the chart title. It is here, title. I'm just going to click on that. Then I'm going to give it a name. These are customer types, so I'm going to type it there. Then I'm going to click outside. Then you can see I have it already. Yes, I may come back here just to do some formatting again of this title. I want to change it to bold, then I'm going to increase the font, maybe to 16. Then it is looking good. Now I'm done with that. The next thing I want to do, I just want to give this particular pie chart a nicer look. So I'm going to click on the second option below the plus sign. Then I'm going to drag up to where I have whatever I want to choose. Let me choose that. Or that is not looking good. Let me choose that. Yes. And everything is okay. No, everything is not okay. I could still do that by just coming here. Yes, this looks much better. Now let me go to the next step. The next step is to create a line chart for the next pivot table. I just want to compare across the three cities, what was the sales volume from 2013 to 2017? How are the three cities comparing to each other. Again, I'm going to click into the pivot table. I'm going to come to where we have the pivot table analyze, pivot chart. Then this time around, I'm moving to line chart. Click on that. Okay, because that is what I want. Just close the field section. Then I'm going to drag it and place it somewhere here. Yes, let me place it there. Once I do that, the next thing I want to look, you see, when you look at this particular line chart, you are going to realize that something has been interchanged with another one, like the horizontal axis. Whatever we have on the horizontal axis are not supposed to be there. We are supposed to be having the period in terms of years on the horizontal axis. The vertical axis is okay, but the horizontal axis is not okay. So I want to change this horizontal axis to have the period in years. Now I'm going to do this by just switching the row and the columns. So I'm going to click within this chart, come to the design tab, then you can see we have switch row and column under the design tab. So I'm just going to click on that and you can see we have a very nice line chart. Now up to here, guys, you can see we have something that is very, very good. But before that, again, let me give this chart a name. To give the chart a name, just click on the plus sign. Look for where we have chart title. Click on chart title. Again, give it a name. Let us give it a name like the sales volume per city. And that is there. Now, what I want to do, I want to start creating the slicers, which will help me now to do what we call filtering. For example, if I only want to see how the New South Wales city performed from 2013 to 2017 while hiding these other cities, what am I going to do? You know, I can actually do this straight by just coming to the city. No, it is not the city by state. I'm going to come to where we have the state. You can see we have a filter button. I'm going to click on that and then select only New South Wales. I'm going to click OK. You can see only one has been now displayed, and this has also been applied to the pivot table. Now, because I do not want to do this, I'm going to create a slicer that will enable me to do this very, very fast. Let me undo that. Now, for me to create slicers, the first step is to click into that pivot table analyze, come to where we have the filter tools, then click on slicers. Now I want to create slicers for, you can see we have various fields, but I want to create slicers for only city, customer type, and account manager, and maybe the order here. Just want to have the 4 of them. Then I'm going to click on that. You can see we already have the 4 slicers, but I want to resize the slicers, so I'm going to click on that. Hold on my shift key so that I can select all of them. I want to resize them. Then I'm going to come here where I have the size, height, and width. I want to reduce all of them. Then that's okay. I'm doing this so that they can fit in a particular space. I want them to fit in this space, so I'm just going to take each and every one of them, place it there. Number 2, number 3. Once I arrange them like that, I'm going to come where we have the arrange tools. Where we have the arrange tools, I'm going to click on here. This is what we call the align objects tool. I'm going to click on the drop down arrow, then I just want to distribute them horizontally. And you can see they have been distributed. Now what next? I want to give them a good formatting, a good style. I want to give each and every one of them a color that they represent. For example, for the account manager, I want to give them something like this color. When I click into that slicer, you can see there is going to be slicer styles under the slicers. I may click on that to choose from a wide range of options. Now that is for account manager. For customer type again, I want to give it that. For the state, I want to give it something like that. Then for order type, I'm going to give it something like that. So that's okay. So what next? What I'm going to do next now, let me try and filter. I only want to see, yes, in this particular pivot chart and pivot table, I only want to see data for New South Wales state alone. So it is very, very simple. When I have the slicers, I'm going to click on the first one, New South Wales, and you can see everything has changed. If I want to do away with that filter, I'm just going to click on this filter funnel. If I want to choose more than one state, I'm going to click on the first one, then hold my control key on my keyboard, then move to the next one. You can see I have the two of them. Again, if I want to move to the next one, maybe I only want to see data for 2013 and 2015. Then I'm going to click 2013, 2015. You can see. Again, if I want to clear that filter, I'm going to click on that, then click on that again. So you can see this is a very, very powerful dashboard that can now help you to do whatever you want to do. Something that we have not talked about is how to connect one slicer to a multiple uh, pivot tables and pivot charts. Now that slicer that is common to these two charts is where we have the customer types. You can see the first slicer, no, the first pivot table has the customer types, and also the second one has customer type. Now, let me connect this slicer. Here we have the customer type. I'm going to click on that slicer. Then after clicking the slicer, I'm going to come to the topmost corner where we have the report connections. I'm going to click on that. You can see it is already connected to pivot table 2. Now I want to connect it to pivot table 1. Okay, it has been connected. Now let us see. I want to see data for only 2013, 2015, and 2017. I'm going to click on that. Hold my control key, 2015, 2017. You can see that. I only want to see for city, New South Wales and WA states. Again, New South Wales, control key on my keyboard, WA. That is what I have. Then let me come to the customer types. I only want to see data for consumers and corporate. I'm going to click on consumer, shift key, corporate. You can see everything has changed. This is a very, very powerful tool, very, very powerful dashboard.